Hi guys, welcome back. In the previous video we discussed how we came to the decision buying this Watermaker. I explained the components, the planning and preparation you need for the installation. I forgot to mention that we are not sponsored. I repeat, not sponsored. It's our own choice based on the research we did ourselves. I like to note there's also a Dutch translated manual available. We now move on to the step-by-step installation process. Enjoy. I like to install the inlet strainer together with the check valve in one go above the waterline. But the support doesn't make that possible. Either you first have to mount the support and then the sea strainer and then the check valve. As this is not what I want. I need to install the complete set. I decided to make my own support on which I can mount the original support and still have room for the screws to fix it against the bulkhead. Now I can place the sea strainer and add the other components. Use the PTFE thread seal tape, turn it around 4 or 5 times and then thread it in, hand tight, and then not more than, let's say, half turn around to fix it. So now the whole set of the sea strainer is ready to install. Because we need to install the sea strainer above the waterline, we have to bring the hose to an accessible place. For lagoon owners, I created these stairs myself for easy guidance for hoses and tubes. I choose the hatch underneath the washing machine and guided the hose and the black feed tube to this place. The only thing left to do now is push the hose on the pillar, fasten the hose clamp. You only need one because it is above the waterline. I will cut and square the black hose, the feed hose. Make sure there's nothing inside. Now I can push the black feed tube into the connector at the check valve side. Don't forget the colored clip. And now we will mount the whole set behind the wall. It's easy to access and to change the filter here. Finally, we will connect the hose to the seacock, and I use for this Loctite 55 to seal the copper hose pillar and mount it on the seacock. Push the hose firmly on the pillar and secure it with 2 hose clamps. Remember, you're working below sea level, so you need 2 hose clamps. And be sure that the hose clamps are in the opposite way of each other. I always add some plastic covers to prevent hurting yourself to these sharp hose clamps. Wind the tape around the threads clockwise and only use the PTFE thread seal tape, which is provided and is in the package. Take your time for this. Don't over tighten joints by giving them one more turn to be sure. Do finger tighten plus 1 or 2 turns, no more. When you receive your package, there is a tubing cutter supplied. This cutter helps you to cut squarely and make sure that you have a leak-free push to connect fitting. Don't make the tube shorter than 7 centimeters. Otherwise, you're not able to release the tube from the fitting again. The cutter has a hinge on one end, and once the tubing is placed in the cradle, the ends are squeezed together to cut the tubing. The tube will go into the fitting for about 3 centimeters. The push to connect fittings has 2 O-rings, so if you think you're there, push a bit harder and you feel it goes a bit further in. So now we will add the T on it. Same story. Put it in. Place the locking clip between the fitting body and the collet retaining ring. The tubing cannot be pulled out while the locking clip is in place now. To fit the 3-way valve to the bulkhead, I purchased a few 32mm PVC saddles at the hardware store. Now I'm able to put some screws to the bulkhead to fit this 3-way valve. The fully prepared 3-way valve can now easily be connected. Push the fit to the T. So, place the lock ring, and now we can mount the valve with the PVC saddles to the bulkhead. Now that the 3-way valve is securely mounted, you can easily turn it from left to right, from normal run to service. As mentioned before, we will mount the Clark pump and pressure vessel on vibration dampers. We use the 40x40mm Type C dampers and mount these on a wooden support with 8mm bolts and body washers. Tighten the bolts firmly with a Baco wrench. Drill the 4 holes in the frame with an 8mm drill. Remove the splinters and test with an 8mm bolt if it all went well. Now very carefully place the pump on top of the vibration dampers. Again, use body washers and tighten the 8mm bolts in the vibration dampers. The pump now stands firmly, but still flexible on its foundation. Another supplier that delivers a ridiculous mounting plate. It is almost impossible to screw on this pump in a decent way. Happily, I ordered 4 vibration dampers type A. This is with 2 threaded ends in order to attach the pump to the bulkhead. Using a sheet of paper, I now draw out the 4 holes in the template. I mark on the bulkhead where the template should be placed to drill the 4 holes. With the 6mm drill, I now drill the marked holes all the way through the bulkhead. At the other side of the bulkhead, I make the drill hole bigger with the 25mm twist drill, so deep that enough thread remains to be able to place the body ring and bolt. Installing the dampers is quite a precise job. In fact, there is so little space between the mounting plate and the cooling fins that I need a needle nose pliers to hold the lock nut. Use a wrench to firmly tighten the lock nuts. The operation is as follows. From the seawater filter, the booster pump pumps the water to the filter. First it passes through the T that goes to the inlet pressure gauge of the control panel, then through the filter, then again through a T-piece that goes to the outlet pressure gauge. From this connector, the black V-tube goes to the accumulator. With an 8mm bolt and nut, I created a ground post, also called negative. The following is connected to this: the house battery, the pump and ventilator, the power of the solenoid, and a small light in the control panel. The left bolt of the solenoid is used as the positive, the plus, connecting the house battery and the 3 amp fuse. 3-wire cable from the control panel will be connected to the fuse, positive of the solenoid, and the ground post. Attach the booster pump in the pre-drilled holes. Place the washer and the lock nut and tighten firmly. Pump now hangs firmly but still flexible on the bulkhead. Connect the tube to the 3-way inlet valve. Next, Screw the bracket of the pre-filter and the attached tubes to the bulkhead. Connect the tube to the booster pump. Screw the filter housing and the 5-micron filter to the bracket. As you can see, it's enough space to do this.